KDB. KDB.
Beats Planet.
Yeah, man, you know, me and Will Steele talking backstage. And, you know, everything's everything, you know what I'm saying? Everybody at the round table love each other.
Stop.
None of y'all got cussed out in the car. None of y'all. Fusty King, if you see this, Chad, you can tell him. Y'all can go tag him on Twitter. Fusty King, if you see this, whatever Skywalker still did to you on Twitter, it ain't worse than what he did to me in that car. It ain't worse.
Hey, look. Hey, Bob. He said, well, Scott, would you say that to anybody else? I said, yes, Foots.
Yeah.
I said,
Foots wasn't around. Chad, let me tell you something. Skywalker still got so mad at me in the car, he started hitting the dashboard. Were you satisfied with 10 wins then, Voch? And I'm just like, bro,
I should have pulled a Law Nation and just turned the phone on.
No, call me. Let's call Foots. We ain't doing nothing else. Let's see if I can call Foots. I ain't gonna call Foots right now.
No,
we'll work on this later. But hey, yo, listen, chat, before it goes anywhere, don't come tagging me talking about some Voch. You see Foots and Will Steele. We love each other.
Yeah, somebody came out here and was like, "Oh, you guys are gonna be good, man. Yo, we good, man." I literally hit up Foots off Twitter. We good.
Sky has said worse things than me and Okoye.
On air.
It's just, I think what happens is, Foots gets so caught up in like fighting the other Cowboy fans over the whole Cowboy. And look, Foots had a rough last week.
Yeah, they was.
Boy, last week on Twitter was rough for Foots. So I can understand the mode that he in. I can understand the vibes that he feeling, man, because a lot of y'all make Jones issues our problems. Like y'all come, Voch, why the hell we ain't signed Jalen Ramsey? I don't, bro. Don't come to me. I didn't do this. We wasn't gonna sign Jalen Ramsey, no way. Mind your business. But today, look. I just wanted to come and say that and clear all this up. Chat, don't y'all think that there's no nonsense going on? Roundtable guys love each other. We're gonna have a good argument one day. When we do a roundtable, just remember nothing was worse than what Will Steele did to me that day. So anyway,
Foots going. By the way, shameless plug. Foots will be live with me tomorrow talking draft wide receivers. So
we love Foots, man. Foots is told you so guy. Look, I joke on Foots all the time. Foots say something nice about every single player one time, so he won't be wrong about it. He can just find that tweet and retweet it. Like, hey, I told y'all. I told y'all Pat Mahomes. I told y'all this player was gonna be. I told y'all Bijan Robinson was gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? So we love Foots, man. Just wanted to clear that up. Free agency is going on today. Tampering period. Will Steele. That's the more correct thing to say. Tampering period.
Yeah, tampering period. Yep. Wednesday will be the official day.
Same thing, right? Same thing. Sure thing. So these agreements are in theory, and it'll go through, when the league starts or whatever, the league years, whatever. Cool. Don't be looking for no Cowboy news this week. You know what?
This is Jerry Jones, bro.
I don't have the patience to jack with you today.
Not today.
Hey, man, listen, in real life, though, the definition of insanity, right? Like, we've been doing this for a while. And I know most of y'all been Cowboy fans longer than I've been YouTubing, right? So every year I'm YouTubing about Cowboy news. This week in particular, we never had nothing to talk about. So I don't know why y'all mad. Right? And then something happens later on in the process to make y'all go, all right, cool. Now, we've had this conversation, and you either real Will Steele about it or you real Foots the King about it. There's a lot more people that's Will Steele about it than Foots the King about it, and that's cool. Something needs to happen outside of draft. We all agree here. Something needs to happen outside of draft, right? We can't make every single move, though. Chat. I understand, we want something to happen. Oh, Voch, anything. Can I get something we want something to happen, right? But every move ain't going to be for everybody. I kind of like I don't just spend money on anybody approach. I kind of like that because I lived through being a Cowboy fan where we just spend money on any fucking body. Anybody. I was around for that, right? But I do think we should play the trade market. I do think that we should play the free agent market. That's just necessary, right? But most likely 9 times out of 10, it's going to be about 10 days where you just hear nothing. Actually, Will Steele, I take that back. Cowboys going to make a transaction like 3 days, but like long snapper got re-signed. You know what I mean? Cowboys going to make a transaction like, oh, backup pass, Dante Fowler back for $38.
Let me help
Something
you
like
out.
that's going to happen. Go ahead.
The Cowboys will be in the news for 10 days. They just won't be signing anybody. It'll be so and so is interested in the Cowboys. Cowboys are interested in so and so. You know how the Lions season go.
Fair. You know what I mean? You know, you go, I want to sign with the Cowboys, and that makes some other team go and get you more aggressively. Teams use that. I'm going to the Cowboys for leverage. I don't even know how that even works. We don't sign nobody.
I've been saying that for 3 years. Like, people say, oh, you know how this goes. They're just using the Cowboys for leverage. What leverage? Stephen Jones doesn't pay anybody.
Yeah. Cowboys ain't signing nobody. One thing that we can be looking forward to, like early in the process, is we're going to be looking for who are our own guys that we're going to sign back, which is also important, right? Let's not get lost in the, hey, let's go get new dudes and completely gloss over the, we have our own dues to pay, right? So that's one thing. So the news was early. I was fresh out of dojo, right? Boy, I just got all that energy off. I was just punching the bag today, boy. I was just exhausted, man. I was tired as hell, boy. But some just gave me a burst of energy, Steele. When I looked on the social medias and everybody was tagging me, the news had broke. Conor McGovern's going to be a Bill next year. Will.
He got paid too, bro.
Oh, he got 10. He got like what, 10 a year, 8 a year? Something like that?
About roughly 8 a year, yep.
Oh, my word. Now, I do think that's worth conversation, Will, still. Because losing Conor McGovern, people think that our draft strategy is going to change somehow. But I don't think that's the case. I just kind of want to talk about this for a little bit before we go into the other guys. I don't think the draft strategy changes all that much for losing Conor McGovern. I think your future outlook of your offensive line is clear if you retain Conor McGovern, right? If you sign Conor McGovern for 3 years and you know he's going to be your left guard, then you go, all right, cool. That means Tyler's a tackle. That's what that means, right? But if Tyron's going to be here, that's more of an indication to me. Tyron's going to be here. Oh, okay, cool. If that's the case, if Tyron is here and McGovern is not here, that means Tyler is going to be guard until, right? So I don't think we get no extra. I don't think there's an extra emergency here to we got to push offensive line up to the one spot. If we do it, cool. And look, this is Voch Lombardi saying this, right? I am notorious for look, I don't think there's a such thing as we've, put too many first round picks in the offensive line. That don't bother me at all. I'm Voch Will still. I love offensive line. We can draft offensive line first 5 times. It don't bother me. But I don't think that this adds any urgency to the Cowboys necessarily because they like to cover themselves, and covering their ass in the event that they lose Conor McGovern. Okay, well, cool. We've kept Tyron Smith, so that's covering our ass. So now we can go into the draft going, well, okay, cool. We'll get a guard in the second if it makes sense. We'll get a guard in the third if it makes sense. There's no emergency because Tyler Smith is your guard now, right? I do dislike this a little bit. Me and Will still talked about this last week or so on the volume. We've been doing volume for about a year, but last week on the volume it was like, yeah, I kind of wish they would just give Tyler Smith a spot and just keep him there. We don't want to keep playing the guard tackle game with Tyler Smith. Well, if we're not going to be retaining Conor McGovern, and let's just say that we don't draft a guard, right? Let's just say that we just don't draft a new guard. Then I think that's a good enough sign that for the rest of the way, Tyler Smith might be a guard for you, especially if we draft a tackle or something, right? Say we draft like Anton Harrison from Oklahoma or something like that.
That's a bigger indicator.
Bigger indicator. So
right now, I don't think there's enough to know, because there's no way in hell you can rely on Tyron Smith. Yeah. So in my Voch voice, in my mind, Tyler Smith is still quote unquote in the middle. He's not a tackle, he's not a guard, but we could shut that all down by, my opinion. I'd love to go get a Shaq Mason. Mm-hmm. He's being shopped. If they don't trade him, then he'll be hit the free agent market. I think his contract is favorable. I would actually, I would actually try to get him. He was traded for a fifth round pick last year. I would try to swing another 5th round pick and pick him up. That way you're not bidding in free agency for Shaq Mason. And that would solidify Tyler Smith at left tackle.
This means 50% of Conor McGovern's availability in free agency.
There's 2 Conor McGoverns. Conor McGovern.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh boy. Okay, the other one. Okay, McGovern. Cool. Oh, that's a weird worded sentence. What I mean?
Mike Florio was trying to be funny. And he missed the mark.
It's false. No, not this guy. We free.
All right. Anyway, everything ain't for everybody. I mean, it's not like Voch Lombardi Live or something. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. So yes, Connor McGovern is up out of there. But if you ask Voch Lombardi, I wasn't really, I wasn't expecting Connor McGovern to be back anyway. So there's going to be a lot of heartbreak for a lot of y'all. Operation Heartbreak Hotel for a lot of y'all. Some of y'all don't care. So moving forward, we do have some names that we are looking at. Jane Slater came out earlier, Will Steele. She was like, hey, y'all, first of all, don't be getting no hopes up about signing nobody today. look, Jane was like, hey, chill out now. That's one. And then Jane says, this was interesting, right? And I saw this more also. She was like, hey, man, so look, last year they was at least talking to Dalton Schultz about numbers. She like, they ain't say shit to Dalton Schultz this year.
she shut that shit down. Yeah, I know there's people out there talking about there was contract offers. They ain't offering him jack shit.
Ain't even conference. Now, Will, this is where Voch goes back to the other side of the coin, right? Because if we're talking about Dalton Schultz at like market price, nah, we're not doing that. But like, what if like we can get Dalton Schultz for cheaper? Would you then want to bring back Dalton Schultz? And I mean like stupid cheaper. Like what if we can get him for like $5?
No. Again, and this could be, and y'all could tell me if I'm being stubborn, but I really feel good about Jake Ferguson, Peyton Hendershot, and then drafting a guy day 2 or 3. And hell, maybe if you take care of some other things, if they were to take a Kincaid, I wouldn't be, swinging and fighting the air. But this draft got too many tight ends that are capable, and I think you got a capable one, a damn good one in Jake. So no.
Danny Savage says, if you don't think offensive line is the number one priority, you're nuts. I disagree. I don't think we're in an ideal position. I think we have bigger emergencies on this team. What are you doing at linebacker? What are you doing at cornerback too? Noah Brown ain't even on the team no more, huh? So like, who's your wide receiver 2 now? Like Gallup and Semi or something? And Tolbert and them, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think you win,
Yeah, the way he words that is as if like the Cowboys need to revamp the entire line. Like realistically, if they sign a guard or a tackle, they're good.
Yeah. Yeah, like this is no emergency. No. This is now look, Voch's O-line guy. Nothing would make me happier. You'll get a big ass smile and a scream on my face if we draft the left tackle, because I'm O-line guy. But Kelvin Joseph, Nashawn Wright, what's the boy? Traylon came from the Raiders. That kid.
Tremaine. Or not Tremaine.
Tremaine Murray.
A whole bunch of dudes, bro. We had Rhodes and
Xavier Rhodes. Like we saw this rotation of cornerback too that kept getting thrown on. That's an emergency. that's an emergency. You know what I mean? Like we have a starting offensive line right now. Your question mark is how long can Tyron stay healthy? Sure, well, I get that.
The question is depth.
The question is depth for your offensive line. You ain't really got a starting cornerback 2 right now. And if you say Bland, you ain't really got a starting, nickel guy right now. Trayvon Mullen, thank you, True
Mullins,
Believe. Yeah. Mullins. So sure, you know what I mean? I'm all for offensive line, but I don't think it's a huge
Here's
emergency.
The thing. It's not DEFCON 1. Is that what it's considered? The worst one?
I think 1 is the worst. Yeah.
Okay. It's not DEFCON 1 unless they go into the draft, Voch, and they didn't touch it at all in free agency. Like, I don't think they can come out of free agency not addressing something. Mm-hmm. If we go into the draft and we just like, hey, Tyler, or is your left side, and we're not going to try to get better depth-wise, or we're not going to try to get better with one of them starters, whether it be Tyron being a backup and then Tyler sliding out, then I'll probably lean closer to, this is an issue. Like, the fact that you're going into the draft saying, oh, yeah, we're going to rely on Tyron Smith. Yeah. That will bother me. I ain't going to lie to you.
Yeah, 100%, Mr. Wolf. So, yeah, that's all I got for y'all on that. Master William, let's take a look at that Cowboy free agent re-sign list. And let's start a little bit of shit in my chat box real fast, because something else too that's been kind of going around in the don't get y'all hopes up sphere on the social media machines is like, hey, bro, don't get your hopes up for Donovan Wilson. Don't even get your hopes up for Donovan Wilson. You can hope for Leighton Vander Esch, but Leighton Vander Esch, don't even get your hopes up for these guys, right? And I think one is more of an emergency than the other right now, right? I think the Cowboys have prepped for the idea that Donovan Wilson ain't going to be here. You have
that hurts me.
I hate it too, but we can't just be attached to, you know what I'm saying? Like
Fair enough.
That's what Marquise Bell is technically for, right? He's not the coverage, I don't have coverage duties, right, guy, right? I'm the bang my head into people in the run game and cover every now and then guy. So Donovan, in which I love Donovan was a physical tone setter for this defense. How much do you pay a physical tone setter? You know what I mean? Like, what's Donovan's job compared to Kearse's job? Or what's Kearse's job compared to a guy like Hankins or Carlos Watkins, right? And we can really talk about Carlos too, but like, what's those jobs compared to those jobs? Hell, we at least have evidence that this defense without Vander Esch look a little different. We at least have that evidence, right? So losing out on, guys like Donovan Wilson, man, we're going to have a conversation about that. Before I look into this list, chat, what's y'all thoughts on losing Donovan Wilson? Because I've seen so much of that. It's almost like a foregone conclusion. Like, hey, don't expect Dono at all. So chat, are y'all crying about that? You okay with moving on with Marquise Bell that we didn't draft him, but he was an unsigned guy last year. You cool with Izzy? Chat, like, what's, like, you know what I'm saying? Give me the vibes on Donovan Wilson not being back. And I'm just kind of gonna go down this list a little bit. Let's see. It hurts. We'll love to keep him here. No, Izzy.
I think it like I said, it sucks to lose Dono because he's a quality player, and we rely on three safeties. Sure. But it's also comforting to know that, there's something. It looks like there's something to Bell. Israel got more physical last year. He's versatile.
Yes.
And you got two reliable starters returning, right? But what's your future look like, right? And I feel like if you can get Dono on a 3-year deal, he's only 27.
Sure.
That gives you some insurance moving forward because you're probably not going to bring back Kearse and Malik Hooker next year. So.
Cowboys haven't been covering their ass with that one. Anthony Barr, we ain't got to talk about. Well, still, Anthony Brown. What you think about bringing? Like, what you think about his whole deal? Think he's done as a Cowboy altogether?
Oh, I think Dallas might try to bring him back on some cheap deal. I personally wouldn't.
Yeah, me too. I've been slandering Noah Brown the whole offseason. I think Rico's like his contract. He's not going nowhere.
Yeah, he's restricted.
Dante Fowler, I mean, if it's super cheap, we can talk about it, but Dante probably want to get some money somewhere else. Luke Gifford probably make $38. You think they move on from CJ Goodwin and let Kelvin be that next, which sucks.
I would not.
That Kelvin got to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? But do you think that we just gonna move on from Goodwin and save?
No, the CJ Goodwin should be an easy bring back because the Cowboys are not going to. You're not going to be like, damn, this $2 million we're going to spend on CJ Goodwin. We need it for this big name free agent. Man, you bring CJ Goodwin back. He's one of the best special teamers in the league. Great for the locker room, and a good guy that if Kelvin is, if he has to play just special teams, Voch, he's a guy that he needs to follow CJ Goodwin around. A good teammate, a veteran, and he can, teach him the ways if that even makes sense. It's just special teams, but I don't want to say it's just because I've seen special teamers make a difference.
See, if Kelvin was good, we wouldn't have nothing to worry about. Like if Kelvin just did what he was supposed to do, this wouldn't, but we'll see. Chat, this brings me to this conversation, right? Would y'all rather have Donovan Wilson or Jonathan Hankins?
Why not? I think Hank could come back cheap too. Shit.
I understand this. I just want to put my chat in a weird place.
Yeah.
I just want to ask my audience, chat box right now, how much do we value this job over this job? So, tone setting, tackle rack up guy, run game dude, and Donovan Wilson, or my whole run game, like my whole run defense changed when Jonathan Hankins stepped in. And look, Will, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like I thought, like I didn't have high, expectations for Jonathan Hankins. Like, we signed Jonathan Hankins. I was like, okay, cool. Jonathan Hankins here. He ain't the Jonathan Hankins he used to be. So he'll be a cool little rotational run stop guy. But boy, I started seeing what the defense looked like with him. And I was like, boy, Vander Esch got better when Jonathan Hankins was in there. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
So just in my mind, yeah, you can find one text every year. 1 year we drafted Bo, and next year we drafted Ridgeway with Washington now. So Washington football Wizards. So I fully expect us to draft another interior dude this year. I don't think Neville's in the long-term plans neither. So I fully expect us to draft the D tackle this year. But boy,
yeah. The thing about the Jonathan Hankins types, because there's more. There's a couple of them out there now. Sure. Is that I would rather sign one of those dudes than rely on a drafted guy, unless he one of them ones. Rely on a drafted guy, because those drafted guys, they're upside, right, Voch? They're potential. They have the body. They're big boys, whatever. But they don't have the know-how yet. They don't know how to stop the run in the NFL yet. Mm-hmm. I know that sounds like, well, nobody knows how to do anything. But seriously, look at Big Bo. Look at Ridgeway, who I know he had some good games or whatever, but he wasn't what everybody think he was in Washington.
He's gonna be a dude next year though. Ridgeway.
Yeah, moving forward, right?
Yes, sir.
But implanting that person in now, I don't think Ridgeway would have been Jonathan Hankins year one. I don't think so. But Jonathan Hankins, when you watch him, when you watch Michael Brockers, when you watch some of these other guys, they know how to stop the run at this level. They know. They understand leverage. They understand beating a guy to a spot. They understand stacking and shedding. They understand not being too fast. And you can just see it on film. And then when you see a guy like, and I love Bo, but Bo be trying to play like a 3-tech sometimes, right? Sure. So you're moving too fast, dog.
Trying to make some money. Trying to make some money in 2 years. I see.
Yeah. And then when you look at some of the early film of Ridgeway, he just there. He seriously was just there. But what happens when he goes plays next to some dudes that could kind of guide him along the way, plays a little bit better. So get me one of those Brockers, Hankins that know how to stop the run, and then let him teach these young guys you draft. That's kind of look at it.
So like a 1 more year deal for Jonathan Hankins for you? That sound good to you?
Hank, Hicks, Brockers, and Dalvin Thomason. Those are the guys that I'm looking at for agency.
Yeah, sign a veteran guy. Let them dudes bring along the young dudes for 1 more year. And they're like, all right, young dudes, it's time for y'all to fly now. Chauncey, you know what I'm saying? Bo, Osa, all y'all came in together. It's time for y'all to be like the dudes on the team now, because this is year 3 for them.
Right.
This year 3 for them. So, but I just think that Hankins does so much more of a job for you. And I saw somebody in the chat, I ain't even see it. It was like Vander Esch only had good games when Hankins got there. Right. But when Vander Esch left, even with Hankins, some of your other linebackers still looked a little lost. I do think linebackers an issue, but whoever your linebacker is, or even if it's Micah, they're gonna benefit from Hankins and Carlos. I like Carlos, and I hope we can get Carlos cheap. You know, you
can definitely get Los cheap
for $38. Jared Jones could just reach in his pocket and pay Los like, here, man, take this money.
Easy.
Take this money and move on. All right, let's move on. Let me see that list again, Will.
Oh, my bad, bro.
No, you good, Playboy.
I was just trying to look at some of Hankins' deals over the last few years. Mm-hmm. The most he got was since 17, where he signed a 3-year, $27 million. The most he got was re-signing with the Raiders in 2019 for 2 years for $4.2 million per year. It's been $2 million contract. He had a $4.2 million contract per year, 3.5, and then last year Dallas got him for less than $1 million. So I think you can get Hankins back for less than $2 million.
For sure. Also, too, before we move on, Will, you can take this list down, put you up. I got to ask you something.
Okay.
This also happened, I think, over the weekend, last week, something like Friday or something like that. Cowboys made a lot of cap space. They pushed the restructures, Dak, and you know what I'm saying, did a bunch of restructures, and I think they got another 7 on Gallup coming. Listen, I know the answer, but it's content. We got to fill up another couple more minutes. Do you think we're gonna do anything with that money, or do you think that what's your take on this whole Dallas is doing something big thing, and that's followed up with Dak and the boys, contract being moved around and makes to make some more money? Do you think something's coming?
I would love to know where that started. I would love to know who said that. Something big. Last time somebody said the Cowboys gonna do something big, they signed blockchain. Yeah.
The World Cup gonna be in Dallas. That's something big.
So something big. Maybe I guess something big could be Odell Beckham, but I don't believe any of that something big stuff until it happens. But do I to answer your question about the cap? Do I expect them to go out in free agency and spend it on tier 1, tier 2 guys? Nah, not at all. They'll try to sign back their guys or potentially use it to extend Diggs or Lamb or something like that.
Errol Spence is throwing the first pitch at a softball game.
WrestleMania 76 will be live at AT&T Stadium in honor of Jerry Jones's corpse. Like,
yeah. Something big like that.
Yeah, something crazy like
Get
that.
out of here. Get out of here, man. Appreciate you, Will.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Let me pull this list back up.
Jesse Bates just got 4 years, 64 million from the Falcons. How much do you think they're going to pay Donald? I think they play two different safeties. I think Roof safeties probably get more money like that, and Jesse Bates probably one of the better ones.
Jesse, one of them ones.
Yeah. Donovan tackle people.
There's a couple callers that called in this morning that said something that I kind of agree with. Like there's dudes like Bates who got the names, where Donald don't necessarily have the name or really the resume attached to him to garner that much money. We saw Kurtz last year have a better season, and he came out of there with like $4 or $5 million per year. So I can't see Donald really getting anything close to. Not saying that's what you said, Professor O, but I feel like he'll be south of $9 million.
You know who I haven't heard of? Who is the boy? The safety with the Jets, but he went to Seattle and we didn't get him.
Jamal Adams? Still
I haven't heard of him in a minute. What are you doing with his terrible contract, his terrible trade? I think he tore his arm the first game of the season. Like he did something where he was out for the rest of the season. I know a lot of people got on his ass a couple years ago about the type of year he had, but he still put up a solid year. He just can't cover for shit. Yeah, so he's still getting paid a lot of money. He'll be back next year. Jamal Adams. Cool. Let's get back to it. T.Y. Hilton, I'm ready to just redo the whole wide receiver room with just better dudes, man. Appreciate you, T.Y. My hurt gone, but they said weeks ago, hey man, don't expect to bring back my hurt. We're gonna move on from my hurt. Everybody came out and said that shit, so I'm not expecting my hurt.
Yeah, I'm good, bro. When the kicker's mental goes, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Conor McGregor, making 3 years, $29 million with the Bills. Shouts out to him. Jake McQuaid, he's probably got it. They sign first, Jerry Jones reaching his pocket, give him a little bit of money. Yeah, Trayvon Mullen does not exist. I've seen word of Jason Peters coming back next year, and I just couldn't fathom for what.
I don't know what this is. Guys, you don't have to do this. Like the Jason Peters thing made sense at the time because you lost your tackle.
Yeah,
it makes no sense to do this shit in March or April or May or June or July for that matter.
Like I would rather roll with Let's Go than Jason Peters at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like and because even when he played, Jason didn't really give me much. You know what I'm saying? So even as a swing guy, he's a name at this point. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It makes me sick that Let's Go apparently he's a hurt guy, right?
Got hurt, yeah.
No, a hurt guy.
He's constantly hurt guy. Okay.
He came in, he had that shoulder situation. Yeah. And then, somebody touched him and messed it up in camp, and then he sneezed wrong and messed it up early in the season.
Tying the shoes.
Yeah.
It is real. Hey, Will Steele, look, time out, Will Steele. We being funny. I need to stop because karma is real. I told you by the time when my back started hurting, when all I was doing was just taking out the trash.
Yeah, we was having this conversation off air about getting older.
All I did was take out the trash, and my back was hurting for like 5 days, bro.
Like, you go look up one of Cat Williams' latest stand-ups. He talks about that. He talks about how you're getting older when you see one of your friends and he just got a cast all up his ribs and he's like, "What happened, man? Get an accident?" He's like, "Nah, dog, I just sneezed wrong." And he said, "I told all of my." That's real, bro.
I don't want that. Now see, all your friends definitely doing that, but my friends, still.
I'll tell you a story off air, man. If Michelle's in the chat, she know I'm talking about. Boy, it was embarrassing, fam. Embarrassing.
Goodness. Goodness. We'll see. All right, let's get back to that list. Let me just think about who was next so we'll still pull that list up. I can see. Here we go. All right. Tony Pollard has already been franchise tagged. I think the Cowboys are thinking about drafting quarterbacks because they talked to some, visited a few, unofficial visited a few. Hendon Hooker was the biggest name of them, so I don't think Cooper Rush is a guy that's going to come
If
back.
Kellen was here, maybe, but not. No Kellen.
Now it's interesting because Mike White got a little bit of money from Miami. You know what I'm saying? And Tua's always in the protocols or whatever. So I guess they're, that's why, that's where they shopping came from. So it wouldn't surprise me if what's his face here? Cooper Rush took over the Cowboys, went 4-1 last year. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't shock me if Cooper Rush got a little bit of money. Garoppolo got money. Goddamn Garoppolo side of the Raiders. So if Cooper Rush is the next small quarterback to get moved, I mean, it makes sense to me. But anyway, I'm out on Cooper Rush. We're out on Dalton Schultz because James Slater said so. Terrence will be here. How big is the event? So somebody had a quote on your show, right? You said he didn't have a he had a breakout year, but he didn't have a what did he say?
It was something along the lines of he had a resurgence year or breakout. I don't want to say breakout. It was something like that. But let's just say breakout. He had a breakout year, but he didn't have a bring back year. Bounce back. Yeah. He had a bounce back year, but he didn't have a bring back year.
Yeah. Do we overrate Leighton Vander Esch, for making the defense look a little better towards the end of the year there? Does that make us overrate Vander Esch? Do you think we can just find a linebacker or draft a linebacker that'll be better than Vander Esch?
I personally, the linebacker classes, when I talk about free agency, is unbelievable. I think you absolutely can sign a linebacker that's better than Leighton Vander Esch. I say if those who are overrating Vander Esch based off of what happened in the second half of the season, that's your prerogative, right? But I think most of us have fairly judged him because we understood the value he had. But don't get it twisted. The value he had, in my opinion, Voch, says more about the depth of the linebacker room as opposed to Leighton Vander Esch.
That nobody was behind him. That's fair.
Right.
That's fair. So now we just currently have Micah, if you want to call him a linebacker. We have Harper, Brillo, who, you know what I'm saying? And then there's Clark that I think everybody feels pretty solid about. You know what I mean? So Danny Savage, that's part of my point. I think linebackers an emergency. You know what I mean? Like whether it be draft, free agency, trade, or whatever, I think you have to do something to this linebacker room. I don't have to do nothing with my O-line right
now.
Backer
right now. You have, who'd you just say? You said Jabril Cox, Devin Harper, and Damone Clark.
Yep. Is it?
I mean, we're not classifying Micah anymore there because he played way too many snaps as a rusher.
Yeah, for sure, man. Micah's just an athlete. 88. James, let me move.
That was an accident. I don't know how he got there.
What the fuck put James? Carlos Watkins. We've talked about Carlos being good for the run game, and we've talked about Donovan Wilson. The whole draft strategy, right? I look at Donovan Wilson kind of similarly to how I look at Dalton Schultz in a way. Just please listen to what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Some positions you can just make factories of. And we've been talking, we should be doing this with running back, the Cowboys hard-headed. You should draft a guy or just undrafted free agent a guy, right? And just stagger that. So you'll draft a dude, undrafted a dude. But it has to be a position to where your job ain't that important. So tight ends, running backs should be one techs, box safeties that just run up and tackle people, right? Those should be constant turnover. Man, there should be constant turnover there. So Marquise Bell is a guy.
Yep.
He's up next. I don't think he's a guy that gets paid. You know what I'm saying? By the time Marquise Bell is starting, there's going to be another dude behind him that run up and tackle and hit hard. I don't know where we got him from, but he's another tackle, hit hard, good run game guy. He's going to fit right in behind him. You see what I'm saying? So I don't mind the Cowboys working like that because some dudes we got to pay. Some dudes we just got to trust on draft and develop to keep that process going. Go ahead, Wilson.
Man, I feel like, and I'm going to play devil's advocate to my own opinion I had earlier into what you're saying here.
Please.
I think we're prisoners of the moment.
Yeah.
We are forgetting how terrible the Cowboys have been at identifying safety.
That's fair.
And it's reason why every year for a long time I was screaming and get one of these young bucks because they were terrible. So now I wonder, is it Dan Quinn? Is you know what I'm saying? The reason why the safety position has been more featured from a monetary standpoint is because Dan Quinn has elevated these guys. So now let me play devil's advocate to my devil's advocate. Well, if that's the case, Guy, then that's why you let Donovan Wilson go, because he can make Marquise Bell, he can make Izzy, he can make et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
That means you got to keep Dan, though.
You got to keep Dan.
you gotta keep Dan.
Yo, look, Dan is the only reason we can say this shit with confidence. If Dan was gone, hey, man, we got to find a way to keep Donovan. We gonna find look, Will Steele, for the first time in our whole existence, Dan Quinn shows up. We got 3 safeties we like. And 3 backup safeties that we like.
Yeah, we're not really like thinking about safety being a problem.
Oh,
because I think Dan Quinn.
Man, when Dan leave, man, oh goodness, man. Come on, man. But yeah, chat, that's what we got for y'all today. The Cowboys free agents. Now we'll see what happens with the rest of free agency. We'll see who the Cowboys
we got a little bit of Cowboys news on. Professor O said, Justine Anderson, that the Cowboys are working to bring back Dante Fowler. The feeling is he'll be back.
I take that.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
I take that because look, something else that I was saying on my last video over on the Voch Lombardi channel, Soliloquy, whatever number it is at this point, let's not underrate, the edge, the whole edge deal, right? Because, well, let's just say pass rushers. We got ends, but like think about pass rushers. You know what I'm saying? So Billy D is going to be a guy. Mike is a guy that's pass rushing for you. Dorrance got, after this, 1 more year on his contract or something like that. D-Law got, 1 to 2? Something like that guaranteed left. Dante, if he does come back, it ain't going to be a long deal. Dante is not a long-term solution for this, for this group or whatnot. So signing back Dante does kind of, like they say, cover their ass a little bit. But I still think that we should be drafting edge guy. And the Cowboys met with a bunch of edge dudes at the combine. So
yeah, I think this is Dallas understanding that their pass rush was the biggest strength of the defense.
Yep, keep it strong.
Right. And if you're not going to, bring in any more dudes, at the very least, don't let your pass rush drop off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Fair enough. Good talk. Good call. Let's get into some of these phones, man. Hear what y'all got to say. You could talk about free agency, player acquisition, Cowboys offseason, whatever you feel. I will keep the phones unlocked till 4:00. Y'all might want to get in before then. Appreciate you. DJ, what up, sir?
Hey, Voch, do me a favor, come back to me, brother. Give me just a couple minutes.
That is privilege. That is phone privilege. All right, DJ, shit. Boy, you'll never do this with ESPN. Boy, you'll never call a CBS sports radio show and talk about, hey, can y'all come back to me? Can y'all just put me
you on hold?
Can you come? Yo, Voch, hold on.
Hey, dog, I had somebody on my show put me on hold.
Ain't no way.
I said, what?
Ain't no way, dog. Now, look, we're still something that would have really like made me upset if like DJ had like hold music, like if he had wait music or whatever, and it just plays. No, sorry.
Elevator music.
Yeah. I call it. Hey, Voch, can you just hold for like 2 minutes? Like, all right, cool, and then we just waiting around. All right, cool. Could you hear that, Wilson?
I could definitely hear it.
All right, cool. Cool.
I don't know what would be funnier, that or listening. Was it JR snoring?
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Oh good. Yeah, that was funny. We listened to JR snore for a while. We was tuned in to him. Or Will Steele, when I call in, or when they call in and then I patch them in, but they don't know that I patched them in and they arguing with their wife or something. That'd be the best. I'd be all in their business.
Yeah,
what
we did. We caught somebody like that.
Yeah, what's going on, Voch? What's going on, Sky?
What's good, my guy?
I fell asleep on y'all too before.
Of course you did. Yep. What you got for the show?
I expect this from the Joneses, man. They never gonna give us something to be happy about going into the next season. They want to do it their way. But I just need them to understand this. They figured out
your wait time is 10 minutes.
Go into the season 2 times.
The next available correspondent.
In 2 seasons back to back. But now I just need them to understand, like, okay, if we figure out that we can make it to the playoffs with the team that we do have, we need to figure out how can we go further. What's going to help us go further in the playoffs once we get there? You know what I mean? I think that's what we're missing. You know what I mean? That get over the hill type players when it counts the most. Because you remember, like you guys was, I don't know if it was you guys or it's another show, during the season, the beginning of the season, the pass rush was up. We was getting a lot of sacks. Yeah. But it got toward the end of the season, a lot of that sack stuff slowed down a little bit. You know what I mean? Wasn't getting that much pressure because they kind of figured us out a little bit. Yeah. But I also believe that if you have a wave of players, something like what the Eagles did, or at least some dominating players like the Chiefs have on defense, on their defensive line, that will help when it comes playoff time. That's my only thing with the Cowboys. Just put some more impact players on this team, and we can do something. I ain't asking you to go all out like that, but just put impact players in certain positions so we know that when it's time, playoff time start, we got those impact players here, and we ready to rock and roll with some of these good young guys. That's all I asked for.
Well,
that's all I got.
Well. See, Reek, this was part of my argument for Dak, right? You know, there's a lot of Cowboy fans that was upset about Dak and not doing enough in the postseason. And look, let me just hear accountability vibes. Dak didn't do enough in the postseason, right? So let's just say that we have a roster that's good enough to win you regular season games. You cannot walk into a playoff game versus the number one defense talking about some, all right, Noah Brown, and we're going to run the ball with Zeke because Tony hurt, right? So what you have to do is not about just your team. It's about you competing with the dudes that surround you. You know what I'm saying? So people's like, well, Voch, Dak had enough talent. Well, when Dak played against them teams, that's a different conversation than these teams. The Eagles went and got everybody. You know what I'm saying? The goddamn 49ers, they went and got everybody. So you can't go against the number one defense with Noah Brown. At some point, you need some other. You just need a handful of more dudes. This whole team building thing that we do, draft and develop, gets you to the playoffs. I do agree. But when you get there and everybody's good, you need some mother. So I agree with you, Reed.
Yeah, man, because you need superstars to win in big games, man. And I just don't get that because it's like, why are we the only team, and I'm about to land my plane here, why are we the only team that the only fan base expect our quarterback to be super damn man, by himself, throw the ball and catch the goddamn rock and run the ball? You know what I mean? Well, these other teams they had Purdy last year. What a damn roster. You telling me if Dak was over there in San Francisco with Purdy and the offense that they was running, that they wouldn't have made it to the damn Super Bowl, or they wouldn't have fought the Eagles to the goddamn end? Yeah. Come on, man. That's why I say some people are just unfair when it comes to our quarterback. Yeah. But you know what? I want them to keep hating, because as soon as they put something together right in Dallas and we make it all the way, I'm going to rub it in everybody's face that was talking all that shit about Dak Prescott. But that's all I got to say.
Appreciate
all
you.
Right, man, I'm out here.
Appreciate you, Reek. I'm not going to be able to talk shit because my phone going to be in like property room somewhere because I'm being in jail. I'm being arrested. So
the conference has been locked.
What was you about to say? I
wanted to touch. He went past something that I wanted to touch on, where he brought up how like the Eagles had a wave, and we kind of had a wave on the edge. I think what the Cowboys lacked at the latter end of the season was interior pressure, right? Interior pass rushers, getting some production there. Because if you're not hitting on the outside, which we weren't, like Fowler showed here and there, your boy Dorrance Armstrong was gone. He was non-existent for most of the second half of the season. Micah was dealing with his injuries, but he still was getting pressure, but he needed help. D-Law was mostly doing run stuff and getting some pressure, but he wasn't finishing. But again, it kind of came right back to the problems we were having before, right? Where, all right, we're getting pressure on the outside, but what are they doing? They're just stepping right up. So I feel like, it's cool bringing back Dante, but don't ignore the interior, man. Get you some dudes in there that can get home too.
Yeah. The Falcons signed Jesse Bates, so I wonder what I can get for Richard Grant. I wonder how low of a pick can I send over to get Richard Grant. See if Dan Quinn can help. Well, I love me some Richard Grant. Yeah, all right, let's go. DJ probably not ready. Big A, what up?
Hey, how you guys doing? I normally don't get to call this early.
Hey man, privilege. You know what I mean? We just take turns being platinum and all that. Go ahead though, Big A. What you got for the show?
That's cool. I was just going. I'm not going. I won't dig into the Dallas thing because we don't know how it is with that. But just I just want to get your guys' impression of how you guys feel so far with some of these early signings that have been made. Like which transaction move that you've seen so far that you like?
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Transactions, but so I don't know them all.
I haven't really looked at them to give you a good answer like that. But like if I could just say anything, I think the Bears are trying to be proactive to bring guys in. They brought in 2 linebackers. They got an offensive lineman, DJ Moore was in the trade package. And we're probably going to talk about that more.
Does trades count?
On the offseason acquisition, sure, trades count, so sure.
I love the Jalen Ramsey trade for the Dolphins.
Yeah, sure. So there you go, big guy.
All right, cool. Yeah, so far for me, I think the move that I've liked so far was, I'd say honestly for me, I think it might be Kansas City. Because granted, it's not fully done yet, but Kansas City went out and they got that tackle from Jacksonville.
Juwan Taylor.
For them, and I think also
Florida. Yeah.
I've heard the rumor. I don't know if it's legit yet.
Oh yeah, they signed him 4 years, $80 million deal.
Who that?
Juwan Taylor.
Yeah.
So
yeah. All right, appreciate you, big A. Now, Will, they was talking to Laramie Tunsil. And I don't know, what that was like, but Laramie Tunsil got the most money from for left tackle or whatever, right? And just all the Cowboy fans just looking at that going, damn, boy, you signed Pat Mahomes to $500 million, $500 million, and you could just sign people every year, boy. Just do what you want to do and just flip your roster and just and it just be all good, man.
I just don't get anybody that's still complaining about your quarterback getting paid. Like you're just shutting your eyes at this point now. Because there's too much evidence out there showing that teams are still signing guys, or trading guys, whatever you want to call it.
Doesn't exist, man. Doesn't exist. Let's see. We're gonna try this again. We're gonna see what the business is. DJ, you ready?
My bad, man.
All right, go ahead. Yeah. All right, go ahead, DJ. What you got for the show?
The music is crazy.
Well, number one, unrelated, but like I was getting pulled over. And I was with a coworker that doesn't know how to keep his mouth shut. So I was like, wait, I really don't want to be the topic of the chat box, at least not like that. So,
no. Yeah, you got to focus, man. You got to focus.
But boy, DJ, that would have been some content, boy.
Been crazy.
Oh, DJ. Oh, boy, that would have just shot us to the top of the charts. Boy, you should have kept the phone on. Boy, that would have got some clicks.
Like a cop.
Go ahead, though, my guy. Go ahead. What you got for the show, boy? Go ahead.
No, my main thing is just like Donald. As much as it sucks, like it doesn't really. I would say it doesn't hurt my heart because I've been expecting it to come. You know what I mean? I as soon as the season ended, I didn't really expect for us to keep all 3 safeties. I didn't know at the time that who was up for contract or whoever it was, but I didn't expect that all 3 of them would be back next season. And then just again, I've been on this Hankins thing all off season. I think it's critical to bring him back. You can bring somebody else in if you want, but it's critical to keep that floor with Hankins at the same level. And that's my only thing.
Sure, makes sense. And then plus, like we drafted for the day that we have to move on from Dono. So, it is what it is. And to be fair, we also drafted for the day that we move on from. Well, Hankins wasn't even here, but you still draft to be able to move on from Hankins. It's just that I feel better about what's going on with Marquise at run up and tackle safety as opposed to who's going to be the run game anchor when Hankins is gone. So fair enough. Appreciate you, DJ.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Now, Will, Steele, you're not a gamer like that. But this whistle song was from an old last game, Deadly Premonition. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow.
Is very, very underrated. But boy, let me tell you something. This whistle song, whenever some nonsense is going on, whenever like what time? Watch this, Will. Watch this. It just ups like. Hold on. Watch this. MJ, what up?
What's up, family? How y'all doing, man?
Cool, man. What you got for the show?
Oh, I just check me out and I got into the last minute.
Yeah.
A lot of people kind of frustrated.
Yeah. What you been thinking about these?
Now,
Yeah. Go ahead. Talk to us. Yeah.
Well, with me, you know me, Steele to tell you,
Yeah.
I'm Cap Boy. I'm Cap Boy too.
Oh man.
Steele to tell you.
Damn.
Still got an argument before, but I'm like, I'm Stephen Jones number 2.
That's terrible.
So I'll go by my draft. I don't care about signing all them expensive ass free agents that ain't gonna do nothing.
Hell yeah.
And I only want, like me and Steele, I agree with Steele on one. Only thing I like is a big D tackle that can get that penetration to help my king, Michael, and you know,
Queen.
gotta draft another
He
corner.
said Michael.
That's about it. Just make that middle of that defense solid, and I ain't worried about the offensive line because I know we're gonna get better there too because we're gonna be running, and that's gonna make them guys better on passes because they're gonna be running a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Better scheme fit, all that.
Right.
So, but I've been hearing a lot of fans complaining, crying, like it's you know, like it's a video game.
Right, like a video game.
They was Voch, they was crying about that the cornerback that got burnt 8 times.
Oh, which one?
Expensive ass cornerback.
Which one?
Jalen
Ramsey. Damn. Yeah, I know Marv. Yeah.
Sorry ass.
No.
And I'm glad we did sign his ass. How you gonna pay 2 corners?
I'd have took Ramsey. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd have took Ramsey.
Hey,
okay, so listen.
Fans gotta get it out their mind.
Right.
Like this is a video Raheem or something. So all I want to say is this, like I said, just make that defense. I want to make that defense a real number 1 defense.
Okay, so listen, Marv.
Help our offense.
So listen, Marv, what you so what you think about the idea that we're gonna move on from Donovan Wilson, number 6? What you think about him that we're not gonna bring him back? And the kid Marquise Bell that we drafted. What you think about him?
But we got a lot of safeties. We got my boy 24 that can play that spot.
Yeah.
We got Marquise who can play that spot, and they probably dropped another one. You know, you could get one of them. So you saw him in the draft. And if y'all didn't even watch it, the safety from Illinois, he can play.
Who was that?
He's fast. He run a 4.4.
What's his name?
What's
his name?
I don't know his name, but you got it for me, Voch.
I don't know
I'm up to you.
I hate DBs, Marv. I don't know his name for real. I mean, I'll eventually find out his name, but I don't know.
You know that guy. He just ran a 4.4 DB. He's smooth, and he can hit, and he can cup.
Yeah.
That's the one you want to draft.
I got you.
So I'm not worried about losing Donovan Wilson. Our people complain about losing people, and we replace them.
Yeah.
That's the name of the NFL. Yeah. Replace and move on. Replace. Hey, but still, and Voch, I got some. I want it before I leave.
Cool, last one. Go ahead.
And still, this is going to hurt a lot of people's heart. And you know what I'm about to say, Steele and Voch.
No, I don't.
If Cowboys win this year, the Super Bowl, and don't pay all that money, all the free agents in the NFL is going to be pissed off because you know what's going to happen? Everybody going to start doing the Dallas Cowboys way. We ain't going to overpay for free agents. You know that still, don't you?
I do agree.
No.
I agree.
They're going to be pissed.
I agree, though.
I let Cowboy win.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna be pissed because of that. They gonna be pissed because they won the Super Bowl.
The last laugh, and everybody gonna be a Dak Prescott bandwagon.
Yeah.
And
that's a different. I agree with that.
Free agents ain't gonna get overpriced no more.
Yeah.
Oh, that's that. Oh God.
Appreciate you, Marv. Good call, man.
Now, good call, Marv. Okay.
Now, Will.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm with Marv when he right now. I do feel like whoever wins. No, so listen, Will, don't cuss me out like you did first. Listen, I do. Listen, I do feel like just listen. I feel like when whatever team wins the Super Bowl dictates the best way to win the Super Bowl, right? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying what the business is. So when everybody has a bad quarterback and a great defense, everybody went to go get great defense to go with their bad quarterbacks or their young quarterbacks, right? So they see what the Rams do. They see what the Eagles do. Now everybody going to go spend money and put everything into being Rams and Eagles. I feel like, and this look, and Will, this ain't right or wrong, but I feel like if the Cowboys won the Super Bowl this year, they're gonna go, oh well, drafting's the way, and teams probably gonna draft more than spend money on free agency, right?
No, No, what are we doing?
I'm not
Did
saying
you-
it's right, Will. Still,
Did you just say all the because
I'm
a
not saying it's
team
right,
won with a bad quarterback, other team said, "Give me a bad quarterback and load up the defense."
I ain't saying
that-
that they're saying go win a bad quarterback, but I'm saying when the Eagles won with so watch this when the Broncos won with Peyton Manning, right? Don't you think that set the field that
God.
hey, even like hey, just get a veteran quarterback and just put everything else around them, like a top tier defense or something like that? Don't you?
No,
No. Because veteran quarterbacks still get paid to this day. Jimmy Garoppolo still get paid to this day.
Foch.
Jimmy Garoppolo still get money to this
They
day.
traded for Peyton Manning, who was still killing the league, right?
I'm talking about Peyton Broncos,
he had an
right?
MVP season.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And they still said it ain't enough. So they went out and signed a bunch of other people to help Peyton Manning, who was an MVP. Then Peyton Manning got hurt and he tanked. They didn't say, you know what? Peyton Manning was so damn bad. Let me go out here and get Brock Purdy and build around the defense.
That ain't what I'm saying in particular, Will. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm just saying that they looked at Peyton when Peyton wasn't up here, when he was down here. They looked at Peyton and they said, you know what? If I got all the help around this veteran quarterback, we can make it shake. Right. And teams will start to build I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but teams will build their team.
That is common sense approach. Hey, let me help my veteran quarterback out. Like, but what y'all are saying is so far off because of one small thing. The market. There is just no chance in hell the NFLPA will allow what the Cowboys won by signing Ryan Nall and James Washington. So we're going to nerf everybody. Nobody's going to get paid no more. That's not going to happen, bro.
Was this league always a super aggressive sign everybody right now league?
Free agency happened. We got to remember free agency is still in regards to terms of the NFL is closer to being new-ish than it is the old way. Like the old way actually has existed longer than free agency. And now I think over the last decade, you're seeing teams understand free agency better. And most of the teams in the last decade are utilizing free agency in the trade department along with being able to draft well. And if you can't draft well, they're just saying F them picks, right? Rams. But there's just no way if Dallas wins, all of a sudden, everybody's going to be like, oh, we're not signing nobody. We're just going to draft everybody and it's going to work. No.
So listen. So let's just take Kansas City, right? Kansas City got Pat Mahomes, but the rest of their team, right? Like 70, it was some number, right? 75% of their team was a totally different roster than the other team, right? When you think that'll send a message to the league going, you know, hey, as long as you got a good quarterback, you can get a big roster turnaround like this, right? Like there's no need to constantly sign dudes, right? Don't you think when the Patriots move on from like Richard Seymour and Ty Law and shit, don't you think that other teams look at that and go, well, you know what? We can draft these guys and move away from some of these big name guys if we feel like they're running out. I do think that teams look at trends and whoever wins the Super Bowl, that just dictates how things are just gonna be done for that next offseason. So what MJ is saying, and I do kind of feel that a little bit, is if the Cowboys won the Super Bowl and the Cowboys are draft and develop team, don't you think that teams will look at that and look more into their draft department than they free agency?
No. So you would take an outlier.
I ain't saying me.
All right, not you. A team. You're a team. Voch, be a team in the NFL. Would you do it? Let me just answer that question. Would you say
that? This ain't about Voch and Will Steele, bro. This is just I'm looking at what teams do, and teams look at what other teams do successfully. And I'm just asking, and this could be yes or no. This is exactly how that damn car ride went. See, so I'm just asking if the Cowboys won a Super Bowl their way. Just draft and develop their way. We're gonna find cheap dudes and pay $38 to them and just move on from them. You don't think other teams will look at that and go, hey, let's try this out?
Watch. Teams pay cheap dudes. Yeah. The Cowboys rely on cheap dudes.
Sure.
Not a single NFL franchise will rely on cheap dudes. Only the Dallas Cowboys. And the teams that have relied on cheap dudes, 9 times out of 10 times out of 10, if we're being real, over the last decade, maybe even more, have not been successful in getting to the promised land. Because the data is overwhelmingly on the other side, that you have to get dudes. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to get dudes and not cheap dudes. but dudes cost.
Mm-hmm.
No franchise except the Rams will come out and say F them picks for real. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you want to still be able to draft well, but you cannot. Can you agree on this? You can't just say we're going to draft and not do anything in free agency or the trade market.
100%. Me and you on the same page on that, Will. So I'm all about marrying all three.
Right.
What I'm saying is,
hold on, I'm not finished. So why would a team that has, I don't know now, 15, 20 years of proof that this way has worked, say all of a sudden, the Cowboys win the Super Bowl, we're going to take an anomaly over what has worked. The problem is this damn social media got people thinking the Rams were the first team to spend money to win and do all this crazy stuff to win the Super Bowl. They're not. People forget the New England Patriots made constant trades and constant free agent signings. The Denver Broncos in 2014 signed a plethora of dudes with an MVP. So, but the Rams were popular because the Rams, got the Jalen Ramsey and social media, and it was the cool thing. The Rams ain't the pioneers in any of this. This has been around since your boy Jerry Jones signed Deion Sanders. This is the way. Sure. So I don't think, I'm just answering your question. I do not think teams will see a team sign Ryan Nall and James Washington and be like, God damn it, that's the way to do it.
I think that's a very extreme case. I think
how is it extreme when that's what they signed?
So look, so Ryan Nall, James Washington, all that. So listen, what I'm saying is, right, the Cowboys don't really trade away first round picks. Will still, you know what I'm saying? They would just more likely just draft their own guys wherever they draft at. But the dudes that they do sign and like J-Ron Curse ended up being a win for us. You know what I mean? And listen, let me just be clear on this. This ain't my idea. I don't want to do this.
I want to go trade with him.
I want to go trade and sign people. I'm saying I want to trade and sign people. Right. But what I'm saying, do you think people will look at Dallas's draft success and go, man, I can get a Micah Parsons in the draft if I just account for my star player being a dude that we draft, or just a Trey Diggs, my star player, or CeeDee Lamb being a star player that you know what I'm saying? The Rams don't look at it that way. The Rams look at it as F them picks. Let's go trade to get more picks. I'm saying that if the Cowboys win a Super Bowl,
anomaly. But go ahead.
And you can just say no. If the Cowboys win a Super Bowl, do you think a team will look at that and go, you know what, I'm going to stop trading my first round picks. I'm going to keep all my picks. I'm actually going to not sign people and get all these comp picks. I'm just going to draft, and then we'll just spend money on people here and there. I'm just asking, do you think that'll be a thing? And if the answer is no,
I've said no a million times, but you're saying stuff, and I'm trying to get in there because what you're saying. Do you think teams are going to want to try to draft a Micah Parsons? Voch, every team wants to draft a Micah Parsons and still sign guys. Like we're in this little thing where this bubble where you can only do one or the other. That's the beauty of these three pillars: trading, drafting, and free agency. Is that you don't have to do one, and you don't have to subscribe to doing one for whatever reason.
I think a lot of teams,
the Dallas Cowboys subscribed to doing one, and they're the only one in the NFL. It took the Cincinnati Bengals owner Mike Brown to say, "Man, this ain't the way." To step down. Give reins to his peoples. And what happens, Voch? They spent money in free agency to help their quarterback, and they get to the Super Bowl and the AFC Championship game in back-to-back years. But we're going to rely on what Jerry Jones, who's been a failure over the last 30 years, gets lightning in a bottle, and we're going to say, wait, that is the way? By the way, he's a laughingstock of this league. And, Stephen Jones is a laughingstock in this league, but that's the way? I don't think any team in their right mind will look at the Dallas Cowboys and say, this is the way to build a Super Bowl roster.
And Voch don't necessarily disagree. But what I'm saying is some teams look at first round picks and look, not just the Rams, right? Like the 49ers don't even have first or second round picks this year. They'd rather trade that pick to go get Christian McCaffrey. My whole thing is, do you think some teams would just prioritize draft and develop over like going to go get a star if the Cowboys win the Super Bowl? I don't think we
teams already do that, right?
Sure. But Voch don't think this. Voch don't think this. I'm just saying that when teams win Super Bowls, other teams look at that strategy and go, how did they do it? And I do think teams look at that and go, okay, let's see if I can do that. Or let's see if we can prioritize picks. Or they just say, F it, and we just trade these picks. Well, let's just be like the Rams. We'll trade these picks away and we'll go blah, 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 blah. We can agree that the Eagles have found a fantastic median in this, that they can go, all right, we're going to draft these dudes. We're going to trade this draft pick back to get a first next year, and we're going to go sign dudes. We agree that that's a good median of it. But that wasn't always the case. That ain't always been a thing. Teams always trade picks. Teams always rely on draft. And I'm just saying, what's going to be the trend if the Cowboys win?
You answered your question. Teams always trade picks. Teams rely on draft. That'll continue to happen.
Sure.
That'll continue to happen. Again, why can't you do both? Why is Dallas the only team that does it?
I agree.
I mean, serious question. Why is it?
Sure. I agree with you. And me listening to you lately, you've been changing my mind about this for the past year or so. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about what other teams will do.
I mean, hey, I just can't see that happening, bro. First of all, there's no way the market will get nerfed just because Dallas won. There's just no way, man. Teams are still going to get signed, and teams will still want a player. And I mean, Joey Bosa, first round pick, right? Rick Armstead, first round pick, right? So they're not always trading the first pick. Aaron Donald, etc. I can go down the line of teams that still trade picks, but also acquire top guys. Patrick Mahomes and it was a first round pick, right? So they didn't trade that pick. They actually traded up to go get Patrick Mahomes. So I mean, they still have their picks, but you got to be able to dabble, man. You got to be able to be savvy and good enough in all three of these fields. And I just can't see the Cowboys winning the Super Bowl and the rest of the league saying, "Oh, we screw free agency, screw the trade market. We're going to try to rely on something that is one of the most unreliable things, really, is the unknown of a rookie coming in all the time." Think about that for a second.
Fair enough.
Marv, what you done started, bro?
Yeah. But we're still, we just had a little back and forth. I love you, bro. And look, chat, this wasn't even as bad as that argument in the car that one day. So, we just talking right now. So nothing happened here. Love you, Will Steele. Appreciate you.
No, I love you too, bro.
Appreciate you. Hey, Will Steele, somebody said in the middle of the argument, well, Will Steele, don't you think that if we was to draft and develop people, that Jerry Jones sitting on his yacht and just cut the whistle music on? I was like, nah, that you can't, I can't show weakness when I'm fighting with you, man, because you know what I'm saying, because you want it. But anyway, moving on. Good talk. I don't know how Marv made me take his side. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. Let's move on to the next call, though. It's 421. Me and Will Steele took up a lot of time there.
We did.
Good talk, though. Danny Savage. Will Steele about to cuss you out next. What's happening?
What's up, Voch?
What's happening?
Up, Sky?
What's good with you?
I think Marv had Papa Shango put a spell on you.
I don't know who that is.
And that's how he got you to agree with him.
Who is that?
I'm just gonna make a few points and I'm out.
Wrestling.
The reason I mentioned O-line
just don't answer questions.
being the number one priority
Please, you go.
is
Please.
because beside Orlando Brown, who we can't afford,
Sure.
who's gonna go for probably like $20 million,
Sure.
there's probably not one free agent offensive lineman right now I would want. It was a below average class. That's why McGovern got $23 million. I'll bet $1 we signed Will Hernandez. Do I agree with you? Linebacker is a need. Absolutely. Yeah. Especially when Dallas is 22 versus the run. That's why our defense got banged up at the end of the year. But we can sign Wagner in 2 minutes for $12 million and solve that issue. But Tyler Smith can't play left tackle and left guard at the same time. And then Walesko is the hurt guy. So we don't even have depth at O-line.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just saying, I think, listen, if we sign a Wagner, which we can in a heartbeat, a news flash came out. Dallas wants Wagner. Everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm trying to say? And I'm going to close on every team has a certain amount of number they have to spend. It's called a salary cap. And then if you have too much of it, salary cap not spent, you'll get a fine. The reason Dallas goes out and signs all these bums in free agency is because we overpay average players and we keep certain players way, way, way past their prime. because the money's spent. So those are my 2 points. You guys are doing a great job, like always. Listen to Skywalker Steele in the morning. I'm just a little bummed out. But if we sign Wagner, I'll feel a lot better.
Sure.
Last year with Dan Quinn.
I am sure we all will. Appreciate you, Danny. Good call.
Man, give me Shaq Mason, man.
Great job.
Give me Shaq.
Shaq, man, for real. I mean, he ain't lying. Like it ain't like the free agent market for guards is a plenty, but you can get average guy. But Shaq Mason's above average. Go get me Shaq and let's rock.
We'll still chat want us to react to the breaking news. So do you have a breaking news button?
Here we go. Boom.
Cowboys restructured Michael Gallup,
creating roughly $7 million in room. Which, I mean, I agree with Todd here, which was always a design with the 5-year contract.
Yeah.
So he'll be here. I don't want to call it a dream. That's ignorant, right? But him moving in the trade is not happening. So we just got to hope that Gallup will be better in his second year removed from his ACL surgery.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't want to rain on nobody. Like if somebody's happy about this, I'm sorry. But like even earlier when I was talking about they was hitting the buttons on Dak and, whoever else or whatever, I was like, hey, Michael Gallup got one of them buttons too that they probably going to hit. So like, I'm just not blown away by the news. So
yeah, it's kind of expected.
Yeah, it's expected, man. Yeah, we wasn't. Now, if they put that money on something, then, let's talk about it. Then,
yeah, $7 million is a lot to clear. So they're roughly about 20.
Yeah. So hey, just that's enough for one superstar. Y'all want to sign one guy, or hit some other buttons and restructure some other people to go get 40 or 50. I mean, what y'all
I'm about to say they could do probably two legitimate guys with that, because the first year of those contracts aren't going to be crazy numbers. But 9 times out of 10, this is going to be, draft guys and re-sign your own guys. I hope I'm wrong though.
Come on, man. Come on, man. You know what's about to happen. Jack, what up?
God.
I don't know why I was waiting.
He sound like JR.
I know Jack. What's good with you, brother?
What's hell? How you gentlemen doing?
Life good, man. Can't complain.
Life is awesome, man. Life is awesome. Voch.
Yes, sir.
Get your motherfucking button ready, Jack. Because with all due disrespect here.
Yes, sir.
Mark, the drunkest dude on the station. I don't know what he was saying, who he was talking about, but damn it, I want what he had. Because it was sauce.
Right.
Now,
Marv loves his juice.
Motherfucker tell me.
Right.
You mean the motherfucker tell me.
Right.
Miami Dolphins got Jalen Ramsey for a 3rd round and Dalton Schultz?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's what you mean to tell me?
Yeah, it's crazy.
What cornerback that you could draft in the 3rd round is better than Jalen?
Man.
I'll wait. Not a damn what. We restructured that. We had $28 million free before we restructured that. Dak's restructure gave us $30 more million.
Right.
No.
Then we got
no.
$7 million from Gallup, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, you're right. You're right there.
A little bit more than $60 million in cap.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Right.
What are we doing again? What the fuck are we doing? Like, I beat myself in the head.
Right.
And I say, all right, we done freed up this money.
Yeah.
We can go get some of these people that we see flying off of free agents. Right. And I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Jerry Jones still on the boat, ain't picked up the damn phone, ain't got no service. He ain't talked to nobody. Come on, man.
Wow.
You can sign some of these free agents, just like I said last week. Help the help. Help the help. You make that trade for Jalen. Now you're not as concerned about corner now.
Right.
Now you can go attack wide receiver. You can go attack D tackle. You can go attack offensive line, wherever you want to go.
Right.
You can go attack running back if that's what you so choose.
Right.
But I mean, shit, damn motherfucker. What are we doing?
Yeah, I
figured it out.
Yeah.
I figured it out. And
Right.
I said, you know what? Jerry Jones didn't make that trade because he wanted to keep that pick. He wanted to keep that pick to go draft somebody that's unknown. Will they be a good player? Possible. Will they be a bad player? Possible. But instead of going to get somebody proven, instead of making moves, just like you guys were discussing in your banter, trading up, trading back, putting this piece here, so it makes sense.
Right.
You got $60 million.
Damn. No, you ain't got to say that.
What are we doing?
Yeah, Jack, man, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, man. You know, but hey, man, you know, this is just the first day of tampering. You know, we got a long free agency to go, so hopefully they got something planned next week. But we'll see though.
Ain't nobody gonna be there. We're gonna do free agent backup.
Yeah.
We're doing free agent backup. We gonna get the people that don't nobody really want on their team, but because it's a spot available, let's go get him for $4.56. You get what you pay for.
$4.50 crazy. Yeah.
You get what you pay for. I'm not saying go spend $60 million on somebody who ain't start or who just happened to come in, had 1 or 2 good games, and went back to the bench. Right. I'm not saying do that.
Right.
I'm saying to go get somebody who's somebody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all, fellas, man. You know, I had to get that on my chest. I was waiting all weekend.
Ooh, that was on your chest. Heavy on your heart.
But it was. It was sitting there. I was in church thinking about it.
Damn.
I couldn't even feel the spirit right. It was messing with my mental.
Yeah. I think.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had my aunt's funeral Friday.
Oh,
I couldn't even properly breathe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I was fucked up. But I couldn't properly breathe.
Yeah.
Because this was on my mind.
Yeah.
But fellas, you do an awesome job. Love the show. Tell Marv, give me the secret recipe to that salt. You know what I'm talking about?
Appreciate you, Jack. Good call, man. Oh man.
I'm pissed.
Yeah. No, Jack said, damn mother. Like, boy. And then chat up here being funny. They're like hashtag SDMF. Like, damn, boy, we just know how to make content out of anything, don't we?
Anything.
And
everything.
My word, boy.
Is there something to this though? When I say to this, I mean they're roughly at 20 million, and they can push some more Tyron Smith, Zeke buttons.
Yeah.
Or we not about to go that route. Like we know what this team is going to do.
Zeke should be cut, man. I don't know what's going on with that. What's the problem with that?
Jerry Jones loves Zeke Elliott.
Oh,
yeah. Most teams this would be a wrap for Zeke. Yeah. Like it's a wrap. Bill Belichick would not be holding on to Zeke Elliott. No. But Jerry Jones is Jerry Jones. So, but they could get what? That'd be 24. Do something with Tyron. That'd be another like 7 or more. I could be wrong on that number. Upwards of 40 million, 30-something million dollars. Then you can go be some real players. But again, I'm not trying to get y'all hopes up. My bad for even thinking that's a remote possibility. My bad.
That ain't happening. It's 4:30. Let's put some legs on these callers, y'all. Theo, what's happening?
Hey, Voch. Hey, Steele. It's been a while since I've called in.
Hey, man, this home. You can come.
Okay,
please. Okay, I'll let you go, please.
It does feel like home every time I watch y'all, so
appreciate you, my guy.
I definitely feel that, sir.
Yes, sir. What you got for the show?
I wanted to touch on a few things that we've been discussing most of the day. For me, I would sign Dono to a 4-year, $24 million contract, structured around his health, because I would slide Dono to Curse's role. Remember, Curse only has 1 more year left after he signed his 2-year deal at the end of last season. Or not at the end of last season, but at the end of the last spring. So therefore, Dono would slide into his role, and then Bell would come into Dono's role. And then you would draft another guy behind Bell next year to fill that route up. And you would have that for 3 to 4 years in a successive role. So you're always constantly succeeding each other. Plus, Dono is kind of like the only talker we have on the team who will talk crap back to other teams. So I kind of think if we lose that, we're going to lose one of our bigger dogs in the house. To me.
Got some dogs over there, man.
Secondly, sorry, go ahead.
Boy, Theo, I tell you what, man, everything that you described about Donovan, I thought you were describing JK. Honestly. But you know,
right.
There's some dogs over there.
30 coming up at the end of his contract, or 29 at the end of this contract coming up, and Dono is 26.
No, he's not 26.
He's signed to a 4-year contract. He'll be 30 about the time he slides off to, even that out. I don't like playing players over the age of 29, 30.
I mean, Dono's going to be 28. I believe he'll be age 28 season.
Yeah.
When his 4-year contract is up, he will be 28, 29 because he's 26, 27.
Yeah, I was going to say he's not 26 right now.
29, 30.
Sir, Donovan Wilson is 28 years old. Okay. So, and J-Ron Kearse is 29.
Dono was 26. I'm sorry.
Yeah. J-Ron's 29, Dono's 28.
Even if that's the case, though, Theo. No problem. Even if that's the case, though, like J-Ron's list of responsibilities are much bigger and much different than Dono's. You know what I'm saying? Dono is a
kamikaze,
risk CTE go hit you guy. JK line people up. JK played deep. JK played down. JK played nickel. JK played linebacker. JK follows tight ends. You know what I'm saying? Like he has a much different job than Donovan does in this defense here. So I'm probably like if anything, the Cowboys should be more likely to give JK more money because he does a lot more jobs, a lot different jobs, a lot more valuable jobs than Dono, which is why I can like sleep on this, right? Because Dono's job, you can find other dudes to do that job for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I kind of mixed up the age, and I was thinking that Dono was 26, 27.
Don't you worry about it.
And that fits the range. And then you can put Dono in Kearse's role after the season, and then just kind of slide over and rerun it. So that's my bad, y'all.
No, don't even worry about it, man. We got you, man. We're gonna hold you down. Don't even worry about it. We got you. That's what we're here for.
Talking about the whole salary cap situation that we do, Sky brought up the Chiefs, or a lot of people bring up the Chiefs example of what they're doing. But honestly, the Chiefs example is closer to what we do than just about any other team in the league. And the way I'm saying that is, outside of Patrick Mahomes, Chris Jones, and Travis Kelce, most of the guys are cheap guys. In fact, 75% of the Chiefs' starting defense in the Super Bowl was rookies, and they're all making several $100,000.
I don't know now.
keep him on the phone.
I don't know though, Theo, because
keep him. No. You want to get him? Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Will. But that roster turnover is like they signed a bunch of dudes, bro. Like they got like that's a brand new offensive line they got, like a whole new O-line, a whole new wide receiver core. Like that offense is like 2 years ago. That offense didn't even look like this.
And what's the most expensive contract in that race?
It ain't about money. It's about going to get them. They just got Juwan. Before that, they went and got Thune. Before that, they went and got Orlando. In the middle of the season, they went and got Kadarius.
And what's Kadarius making? $4 million?
No. Listen. Kadarius cheap. Look. No, listen. I feel you. Kadarius cheap. But Cowboy, look, they went to go get Kadarius.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
The Cowboys waited for Christmas to get T.Y. Hilton. You know what I'm saying? like it's different.
I'm not saying we should have waited. I'm
okay.
Not saying that.
Okay, I got you.
They do bargain hunt for their guys outside of their big three. Does that make sense?
Big three who? Which one? Okay, so who's their big three?
Go ahead.
Kelce, Jones, and Pat.
Okay.
Outside of those three, they're willing to shop every round for whatever piece fits them at the lowest price possible. That's why they revamped their whole entire defense, because their whole defense was getting old and costing too much. So they went and got a bunch of rookies that are now making nothing, so they can pay Chris Jones almost $20 million.
I can't hold my.
Am I not wrong thinking that?
You are absolutely.
I'm not sure. Will Steele, what you think about that?
You are so wrong, sir.
Will Steele, what you think about that?
So wrong. Like you couldn't be any more wrong. Justin, what's the dude's last name? The safety they paid a lot of money to last year.
Reed.
Justin Reed, Tyrann Mathieu, Frank Clark was traded. They quite literally traded and signed their offensive line on the left side. And those 5 moves alone, Trump. Bro, they signed him. He won a Super Bowl with Tyrann. What are we doing? They won a Super Bowl with Tyrann Mathieu. Sir, those 5 moves I just named to you is more than anything the Cowboys have done in the last 15 years combined in free agency, sir. How in any world are they doing things like the Cowboys?
Because they went from having all that big superstar players in Tyrann Mathieu and Peters and all the guys that you're talking about that they had to completely flipping the roster
Jason Peters.
to keeping just 3 or 4 key guys.
Peters
and everyone else scrapped.
Sir,
Peter
what in the
Pierre-Paul.
world? Peters who?
Marcus Peters.
Oh my God, sir! Did you just say
The
Marcus
cornerback
Peters?
of the Super Bowl that they were not last in, but the one before that.
Oh my God!
They went and drafted a rookie.
Marcus
and
Peters.
let Peters go. They went and drafted Trent McDuffie and let Marcus Peters walk.
Sir, Marcus Peters was drafted by the Chiefs
Wasn't he
and was traded to the Rams.
But
All right, Theo, that's a good call, man. We appreciate you. Yo, but Theo, we love the back and forth, you know what I'm saying? But just in this particular situation, the Chiefs have been way more aggressive than the Dallas Cowboys, my guy. But appreciate you for the call, man.
Nah. Now you
good
got
call, Theo. Good call.
right.
We need people to call back, Will Steele.
Well, and if they scared of the heat, I say it all the time. They don't come in the kitchen. Look, Twan, what do you mean you understand what the caller is saying? What on what earth have the Chiefs been anything like the Dallas Cowboys? Ooh. Even Voch can agree with this, who was on a total opposite side of this whole situation. But seriously, what are the Chiefs doing that mirrors the Cowboys, Voch?
Why you ask me, man? Ask Theo. Shit.
I already asked Theo, and he thought Marcus Peters was on the Super Bowl team, and that Donovan Wilson was 21 years old.
He said 27. He said 26. What did he say, 26? He said 26. You mean, dog. Hey, Skywalker still mean as fuck, boy.
Nonsense, bro.
Oh,
call it out. I don't care if you Foots or Theo.
Sky told Theo to stay in his lane.
Problem is, I don't know which one's his lane.
Oh, goodness. Chill out, man. We need these people to keep calling the show. Whew, Jimmy O, what's happening?
Oh God, what are y'all?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Coolin', my guy. What you got for the show?
Me in the chat.
Yeah, you want to bring that up last week when I was like, the final word. That was funny as hell. But
he must have ran that back.
He ran that back.
Anyway.
man, my bad, Jim. It's all good.
I've seen your face, Voch. I've seen your face, bro.
We all look alike. We all look alike. It's okay, man.
I've seen your face.
I like wrong man, boss Cowboy.
This is my wrong show.
Yeah.
Cause I know your style, bro. I know, and it was funny as hell to me, though. I accept that. I fucked up, but anyway, play fuck up. But anyway, that dude Marv, I don't know. He was like, I agree with what's his name. He was high off of something. Like, what the fuck was he on? But anyway, I wanted to get to this free agency as far as I think the free agency, even though people want these big names and all of that, I think Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn could do well with whatever they get. Because I was watching the show of Boss Cowboy the other day, right? And he was talking about the Underground Kings, right?
Yeah.
And the Underground Kings is Dan Quinn and Mike McCarthy. See, now you don't have Kellen Pookie Moore at offense coordinator. So that just takes away the whole thing. Mike McCarthy knows that you have to play complementary football, and the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator has to manage time of possession. And when he said that, I said, and I don't know if you've seen the interview of Mike McCarthy in the Rich Eisen show. If you didn't see it, go and watch it, bro. Listen to it, because I'm telling you, he said everything we were talking about, how the Joneses do the coaches, all of this stuff. The only reason why Dan Quinn is back is because Mike McCarthy said, look, I'm not trying to keep you here. And he said that Dan Quinn came to him and asked him, look, do you want me to go somewhere else, whatever? He was like, well, I'll leave that up to you, but I'm just saying I need you here. And I know the landscape because this is how the Cowboys do, but I need you back here. And Dan Quinn said, you know what? I trust you. And since you're going to be calling the plays this year, I'll come back. That's the only reason why Kellen Moore was the out to bring Dan Quinn back. You see what I'm saying? Like McCarthy literally said it. And he acknowledged the politics of the Cowboys. Like when you go back, like I know Sky was saying something about Deion Sanders. You go back to what's the name? Stephen Jones didn't even want to sign Deion Sanders around that time.
Yeah, in a fight about that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But Mike McCarthy knew who Kellen Pookie Moore was. If y'all know who Pookie is, go back and watch the movie New Jack City. Go watch New Jack City. Now the thing was, what happened was McCarthy knew what he just let, you know how you know somebody lying and you just let them keep lying just to see how much they'll keep lying?
Right.
He let Kellen Moore dig his own grave.
Mm-hmm.
How many times did you see McCarthy turn red in the face, throw his headset on the ground, and things like that when Kellen Moore was doing bullshit?
Mm-hmm.
Go back and watch the film.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go back and watch the film.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, since Mike McCarthy is taking over and they got complementary football, you got two head coaches, right, that are now calling plays for offense and defense. Now, they want to keep trying to play Mike McCarthy like he don't got no stain in the game. They was ready to get – a lot of Cowboy fans, too, was ready to get rid of him year one during COVID and all of that. And when we actually got back into a regular season style of games, didn't we go 12-5 back-to-back? I'll wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
They both know what it takes to win a chip, bro. They both know what it takes to win a chip. Yeah. And I think that with Will McClay working with McCarthy and what he wants for how he wants to run his offense this year, you're going to see a lot more changes and not just the player names like, you know, that's out there. He knows Mike McCarthy wants to he wants to get to the point where he utilizes the talent of the players. Kellen Moore had no clue how to use Amari right, how to use Gallup right, how to use CeeDee Lamb right. We're going to put him in the slot or outside. He just is playing to put points on the board. That's why when you heard, I forgot his name, from 105.3 The Fan, he literally called Kellen Moore a basement Madden player.
Right. Joystick. Right.
Joystick.
Joe Lombardi. Yeah.
Joystick. I said, wait, what?
Yeah. Crazy.
I forgot who said that, but he called him joystick. I said, wow.
Yeah.
That is condemning him. Like, good luck to the Chargers next year. I get more power to you. That's why Ryan Eckler said, you know what, I want to trade.
Eckler said that?
Because Kellen Moore came there, and Eckler like, you know what, I see what they did with the backs in Dallas. Right. I don't want to be a part of this. I want to trade. Get me the hell up out of here.
Yep.
And all I got to do is say, they all will get what they want because in Will McClay, I trust.
Yep.
And that's all I got, bro.
That's all you got. Appreciate Jimmy. Good call, man. Good call.
He unloaded the clip.
Yo, Will, I love when they be like, all right, so check this out. I ain't gonna hold y'all neck. I'm gonna be real quick. And then they be real long, and at the end, they're like, that's all I got. That's exactly what it is. That's everything you had, motherfucker.
L said when he was like, "Don't worry, I'll wait." He ain't wait.
He jumped right into that next point, didn't he? Hey man, I was look, man, I stopped to check for free agent news, and some people tagged us to something Josina Anderson said, but it was deleted. And I was like, what's his name? But I think that was the Dante Fowler tweet.
Dante Fowler, yeah, there's a couple other free agent acquisitions that happened. I was listening to what he was saying.
It was
100%.
It was just everything that he said.
Yeah. And we kind of touched on the Kellen thing.
Yeah.
I try to say this sometimes, and I'll land my plane.
Yeah.
If we could kind of stay on topic,
yeah,
that helps a lot. But if we go like super left,
can't go everywhere.
It'd be like, all right, if you're gonna go super left, let's be quick about it.
Yep, say something for the fishes.
Yeah.
We got 3 callers and it's 4:49, so we gonna have to breeze through these. I apologize. Uncle Charlie, what's happening?
What's happening? What's up, Kings? How y'all doing?
What's good? What you got for the show?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you straight from the book. Let me explain something to you. Let me let my Dallas Cowboy fans know something.
Yes, sir.
Let me make this very clear. I will always be a Dallas Cowboy fan until I'm on the other side. Ain't nothing gonna change that. But I don't have to like what they do. Let me explain something to you, man.
Right.
Here it is again. While these teams like Philadelphia pay their players to win, we regular tagging and bagging. And I don't have enough. You know, when I was little, I had no choice in the matter of what I wore and what I put on my feet. That was my mom and dad's responsibility. And their mentality is that you put on what we tell you to put on. And my mama laid claim to that, especially when she took me to the damn outlet and bought me some shoes too big in the front and too small in the back. This is what my mama did. She believed in having some on your feet. She didn't believe in no brand. But when I got big enough, and got a job, I paid the money for what I wanted. This is the very thing the Cowboys do. Here's Pollard. You should have signed him in his second or third year, made a deal with him in his third year. But what do? You wait till the end of his contract, and then you tag and bag. This is what you do. And the problem was this year, it wasn't our defense. We had nobody to protect Dak. We got 2 legendary offensive linemen on there, which is Hall of Famers, should be going off into the sunset and should be honored for what they done. But we need to get young on the offensive line.
Right.
But we won't do that. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I used to go in the Piggly Wiggly. That was my store. Until I seen more flies in there than product. And then I went to Publix and I didn't see no flies. Cost a little bit of money, but I ate healthy. This is what it is. You have to pay to win. It's what it is. It ain't what it's supposed to be. Now, you don't get this say you got a bad tooth in your mouth and I'm going to pull it. And then you walk your ass out the damn office and all the Novocaine gone and you come back and say, I'm going to go ahead and pull your teeth. Now, all the Novocaine gone. You think I'm going to let you pull my brain out through my ear now?
Right.
No. The doctor appointment is over.
Right.
I'm sick of it. I'm tired of this 8 and 8, 8 and 8, 8 and 8, 8 and 8. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. We love our guys. You said that last year, the year before that, and the year before that. Now, when we get to the Super Bowl, it'll be 2062.
Yeah.
By that time, all will be dead by then. And that's all I got to say. Dallas is too cheap.
Yeah.
And they're always cheap, and they'll never win anything being cheap. And that's all I got to say, player.
Appreciate you, Uncle Charlie. I understand that you didn't play Kingdom Hearts growing up because that was out of your time. But when you said you had shoes that was too big in the front but too small in the back, that's the first thing popped up in my mind, dog. Shouts out to my Kingdom Hearts players. They know what we talking about. and know what we talking about. We're still waiting outside for, you know what I'm saying, Kingdom Hearts, whatever. He was a little bit too old, but
I was not. You said King of Hearts? I play poker.
Kingdom. Yeah, okay, well, fair enough. So as soon as he said shoes too big in the front, small in the back.
Royal Flush? No.
Okay. Bosh did. Me and Will still actually gonna be he gonna be teaching me how to play poker in real life one day because I could play it on like the phone and you know what I'm saying, PC games and all that shit, but Will still gonna teach me how to you know, gamble in real life. We're gonna go lose some money. It is what it is. Bosh about to send some invoices to the volume, so we're gonna have a little bit more.
I got you. Poker
all right. For sure. Let's get through these last calls pretty quick. It's almost 5. I apologize, but you know, my bad. 623, what's up? Who this?
You can call me Big V.
What's up, Big V? What you got for the show?
Sound like Danny.
Well, I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller.
Appreciate
at least I'm not the last one up, so
that's fair.
I'm blessed for that, I guess.
That's fair, my guy.
Anyways, man, what I was thinking about is something that along the lines of what Will Steele covered earlier this morning, and everybody else about the money, the Cowboys having money or not. But I'm actually going to take it from another thought and want you guys' input with the Jalen Ramsey trade, not necessarily in the fact that what Miami did to get Jalen Ramsey, but what the Rams got in return for him. I didn't care about the Jalen Ramsey and getting him in terms of the player or whatnot. I'm talking about in comparison to the Amari Cooper trade and what we got back and the Joneses' inability to get good value in trades. Do you think they have any or enough good relationships with other teams in the NFL for them to be able to get a trade or get back in value trades like some of these other teams are able to do? That's it, my man.
That's fair.
That's pretty much it.
That's fair. Big V, that was a good call. It was concise. We're going to put you down platinum, so next time you call in, you won't be at the very end, sir. I appreciate you, man. And look, thank you for watching my show for so long, but also thank you for watching Will Steele in the morning and then coming here watching after that. So that's huge for us. Appreciate you, brother.
Much love, man.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Will Steele.
I have a graphic about the. I mean, we had a discussion about this last year, Voch. Like, does the league respect Stephen Jones or Jerry in regards to trades, because they just haven't been able to do it? And he brought up something that I brought up on Twitter. If you look at other teams, the Chiefs, Rams, we can just use those two teams, traded away Tyreek Hill, traded away Jalen Ramsey for this capital. Whether you say the draft capital, the return was good or bad for the Rams, whatever. But the fact of the matter is they was willing to move these guys, and they got some capital back. I'm going to pull up this graphic, bro, that shows the Cowboys players they traded away since 2000. And you can add Amari Cooper to this list for a 5th-round pick.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we get on them because they're tight in the free agent market. They're tight in trading for a guy, but they also tight in trading away.
Yeah.
Bro, look at this list.
I actually saw this when you tweeted this on Skywalker, Steele, on Twitter, and I saw this shit, and I was heartbroken, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, we've got nothing. we've got nothing. I mean, and look, even if you go, well, Keyshawn, but look at what we gave up to get, you know what I'm saying? You know, what's the name or whatever? And dog, and I'm just looking 6 back for Everson, and then Everson went on to be great or just be better. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know who Parker E. Who is that?
The offensive lineman from the Chiefs that didn't play a single down for the Cowboys. Meanwhile, Travarius Ward
went
into
to
Super
play well for
Bowls
2 teams,
championship games. Yeah,
for 2 teams. Swiss, like, bro, like, we've done nothing.
And people can say, well, the Cowboys don't want to trade away their guys, but they had opportunities. Byron Jones, guys, and there's been other where they know I'm not signing this dude, so let's get something in return. They would rather hold on to them and hope for the best. And I guess this is the way that teams are going to do it if the Cowboys win the Super Bowl. But I doubt that.
That's upsetting, man. That's upsetting, bro.
Yeah. So I don't know if we answered his question or whatever, but yeah, he's right. I think there is something to it. Like, there's something to the Cowboys just not being respected in that arena. They're not good at it.
Will Steele, they say this sometime about dabbling in the streets also, is sometimes you have to take an L just to gain good faith sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So if you just imagine the other 31 teams doing deals with, you know what I'm saying, the Jones, whatever, Steven in particular, and Steven try to just get you every time. Like, he don't want to give, he don't want to give a little, you know what I'm saying? He's just constantly trying to be frugal. He's constantly just not trying to, you know what I mean? Like, it's not his responsibility to help another team, but he'll go, hey man, you know what? Let me not F over the Jets. I might need them one day. You know what I'm saying? And that may be a thing, man.
Yeah, that's the most recent team, right? That we hear that they don't like negotiating with the Cowboys. It's the Jets.
Yeah, they play it too tough. They just play it too tough. That's rough, man.
But if you're trying to get somebody, if you're trying to get like a Cooper or somebody or you're trying to trade away somebody, they feel like they can get them. The Joey Galloways, Roy Williams. Yeah. We can get Dallas, Amari Cooper.
I think one day when Charlotte Jones owns the team and she hires a GM in real life, then that's probably gonna change up a little bit.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 is probably gonna change up a little bit. Shouts out to Charlotte Jones Anderson. 831, you the last call. Let's get through it pretty cleanly here. We love you though, but who this?
So we're gonna save the best for last, I guess. I've watched it. Listen,
100%.
This is Nacho.
What's good with your Nacho?
It's the first time calling Voch, and I follow you guys. I was able to get the day off. You guys are outstanding.
Appreciate you, Nacho.
This is what I got.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. This is what I got. With everything moving and we continue to do what we normally do, right? We tend to wait for the clearance rack to come on sale, and then we go out.
Right.
What I'm hoping for is make a splash. How about this? Calais Campbell is out there. You grab Calais Campbell, bring him in for 1 year, locker room guy, veteran presence, solidify the front. Parsons has been preaching for getting me some big boys up front so I can play downhill.
Sure.
I'm listening, hearing things about, of course, Seattle Seahawks and the whole Wagner thing since last year. Well, why don't we make a splash? And now that we've restructured some players and we have some room,
sure.
Can you go get Wagner, and then figure out if you're gonna go OBJ or you're gonna go Hopkins. Maybe trade. Look at the Ramsey trade. Maybe trade a 3rd round pick and or a player and go get Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
Try to negotiate. Steven is not a good negotiator, unfortunately, and I'm wondering if people out there just don't respect him enough that they take advantage of him. He's just not a bulldog to go out there and get what he wants, type of thing. But I'm hoping for something, and I think we're all, as a Cowboy fan base, we're waiting for that move, right? For that move or two. What are you feeling? Are we going to make a move, or is something kind of heating up? Anything like that?
No, I don't expect nothing until next week. Now, listen, you're not by yourself though, Nacho. We would all love to just roll over, look at the phone and be like, Cowboys and sign Bobby Wagner. We'll all have a little party if that was the case, but it ain't gonna happen day one. If Bobby Wagner hangs around till next week, maybe, and Bobby Wagner maybe come down with his dollar amount or something like that, then maybe we could talk about it. I do have a little optimism that Bobby Wagner, him having a great year last year would make Steve and them want to put a little money on him, considering that, okay, he's an older player, but he can still play for you. But you ain't finna see Voch get his hopes up. So, Nacho, appreciate you, man. We love you to pieces, man. Thanks so much for being a long time listener. I just put you down platinum, so next time you ain't got to wait to the end, bro. Appreciate you.
Either man, appreciate it.
Salute, my guy.
Nacho's great, man.
Shouts out to Nacho, man. Hey, man, we love when y'all can watch Will in the morning and Voch in the evening, man. That's good for everybody. We're gonna get them houses that we promised y'all was gonna get. James Slater says Cowboys still talking to Donovan Wilson. We want him per source. As for Leighton Vander Esch, we are still working on it, but nothing of substance to report. Don't worry about it. I'm told he will likely garner interest from another team or two here soon if nothing of note materializes, though. It's per James Slater.
Yeah, I think it's internal guys, Voch first.
Yeah, 100%. And the Eagles still their whole defense is going elsewhere. So
it looks like Marcus Epps just signed somewhere else.
That's what it looks like. So basically, all right, let's get into these supers, man, so we can wrap this show up. Lay out a piece, man. This was a good long show. To come back from the weekend. Gotta pay Jalen Hurts, man. Gotta pay Jalen Hurts. All right, cool. Here we go. On the volume side, Ron, what's up, bro? He was like, I'm critical of Jones boys. I'm critical of the Jones boys not doing too much, but wouldn't you rather use cap on a traded player? This free agent class is kind of booty. Well, I think when me and Will still talk, we just think off-season acquisition in general. So I think most of the dudes that we talking about signing are dudes we'll have to trade something for. So, yeah, I don't hate that at all. When we talk about D-Hop, I mean, we got to give up a pick to go get D-Hop. We were talking about Jalen Rams. You got to give up something to go get Jalen. Beckham's available. You don't have to trade in to go get him, but you need both. You know what I'm saying? You need to marry trade. You need to marry free agency. Hell, I don't think Will would mind if you Do your draft thing. If you want to nickel and dime some of these free agencies, but you make an impact via trade,
I'm not. I just think you need to be involved in all three. And I do think, and this is why I do a free agency primer show, and I have a section called Catboy Criteria. Like, there's actually decent dudes under the Catboy criteria that I think they could sign. 9 times out of 10, bro, they don't sign them though.
What's the Catboy criteria is madness, sir. I love that for you. I love that for you. I'm not gonna steal it from you, but boy, I love that for you.
It's real thing, bro. In the last 2 seasons, like they've literally signed dudes that fit that. And if we can kind of just put our heads in the Catboy criteria, we can actually find guys, but they don't even really sign them dudes. You know, I think the best Catboy guy they got over the last couple of years was Dante and J-Ron, right?
Sure.
And they were super duper cheap. But I'm looking at Catboy criteria prices a little bit higher than that, but they don't like to pay more than $3 million on none of these dudes, man.
Aaron drop 5. It says, "Here, fam, breaking news: Cowboys restructure Michael Gallup." Dun, 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 dun. Appreciate you, man. Dwayne Brown drop 5. It says they've been doing it. They've been doing it their way the last 27 years. Where is Super Bowl number 6? There you go. Appreciate you, Dwayne. Brother L dropped the deuce and says we need some SDMF shirts. Some shit damn MF shirts. We're gonna work on that, L. Salute. And then he came back and says he dropped 5 for the Studio 2023 donation. Trust me, man, it's all in the works, man. It's all in the works, man. They done gave. Look, I love when they just give us information that they shouldn't be giving us. Boy, they gave Will some fantastic information. Boy, they love us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can't wait for. By the way, did they reach out to you about the March Madness thing?
They may have sent an email. You know what?
Okay, yeah.
They did right to go to you first, man. But I'll look over that
because that starts this week.
Okay, cool. King Element dropped 5. It says, "Shouts out to the callers and chat demons. Most importantly, shouts out to Voch and Sky.
Salute, bro.
For bringing a classic on this fine Monday. #SDMF. So come on, Jack. Appreciate you, sir. Drop another banger on us. And what side is that on? No, don't refresh that. Let's come over here to the other side. I should have had this brought up already. I failed y'all. All right. And on the Lombardi side, appreciate y'all for contributing. Got a lot on the vice side. Boy, let's see. Mr. Leotis dropped a dime and says, "Do you think Catboy is gunshot or overcorrecting on big free agents due to past failures? Or is this they are content with the formula since it results in appearances? Stay golden. Salute." Like you saying, we're going less money because we failed on the Zeke deal. Nah, I just think that they just frugal in general and they just don't want to spend money in general. That's all I think that is.
I think there's truth to both.
Could be.
Because he often brings up Brandon Carr, which is wild to me because Brandon Carr actually worked out for the most part.
Yeah.
And then they win 10 games, they win 12 games, right? They go to the playoffs by not spending a lot of money and they believe, see, look, it is enough. And we kind of fall for it.
Coach Mar dropped the deuce, says free agency NFL cap equals cash. LOL. Appreciate you, Coach Mar. Appreciate you, Mr. Leo. Go ahead.
Yeah, Twan dropped one too above there.
Yeah, I got him. Big V dropped the deuce and says, you guys, Connor McGovern is gone, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Connor McGovern gone. He's a bill. In theory, I mean, they can change their mind, but he's a bill. That's messed up, Trey. Big V dropped the deuce and says, we just read it. Appreciate it. DJ dropped 5 and says, shaking my head, new news. My coworker just got arrested for arguing with the cops.
Talking about, I want to say, is he talking about DJ?
Yeah, DJ, yeah. DJ say, save out there, man. Stay free. Stay free, man. Jeez Louise. Prayers to all parties involved, man. That's had to be some content though. But boy, DJ, just hang in there, man. Stay free. Stay free. As for your coworker, man. Don't argue with the cops, motherfuckers. Just get home. Shit. Mr. Leotis dropped 3 deuces. That's 6. He says, no hate, but Donald is a smart player. He's talking about what Theo called about that one time.
Yeah.
We're gonna be here till 5:30.
I mean,
my bad. And then he said, "My man shaving in the bathroom while he's talking." That's with Jimmy O. Damn, boy, damn, Leotis, you just. My bad, dog. Sully drop 5 says, "Am I the only one pissed seeing these teams sign players and I get a notification because we called about somebody because we called about a mother?" I know we don't participate, but golly, yeah, Sully. Everybody else is signing their ass off, but we get a James Slater notification saying, "Hey man, we talked to Donovan."
That's our news.
That's our news, buddy. That was a great super chat. I have not heard from Short Dog. Short Dog might be locked up again. I don't know, but free Short Dog. Dimes official dropped the 5 says Mike White getting $8 million per year. Is Rush coming back because the market isn't what he thinks? Mike White getting 8, boy. Cooper Rush.
Mike White getting 8. I mean, it's going to be probably have to be around that. Although they're very similar, right? They just got hot one time in their career. Mike just happened to do it twice. He did one good game, or 2 years ago, another good game last year.
All it takes is to get hot one time, man. Matt Flynn made a lot of money being hot one time.
And the wild thing about Cooper Rush is he wasn't hot.
He was carried. It was different. Cooper Rush never went out through for 400 yards.
Hell no.
That ain't happening.
Capable of that shit.
Oh, man. And then Twan came and dropped a dime at the end. He says, "Isn't it hard to get a wideout, a big name, or a cornerback when you got Diggs and CD next to get paid? Whatever you bring in to money, those goes gonna be watching. Those hoes gonna be watching. Those Joes gonna be watching. Linebacker is probably the go-to spot to sign a big name.
Care about the name.
It's a myth, man. Salary cap is you can make things happen, man. You can make things happen because we see it all the time, man. We see it every single year. Because look,
look at the Chiefs, bro.
I mean, AJ Brown got his money, but that ain't stopping Devontae from getting his. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, nothing.
The Chiefs just signed a $60 million tackle with a quarterback that got a $500 million.
Yeah, after putting all dog.
And Chiefs,
Chris
Jones
got a
is getting
whole,
paid. Yeah.
Dog, man, the Chiefs got a whole new offensive line, bro.
Joe Tooney got signed last year. I mean, we can go down a list. We can go down a list, but I shouldn't stop you. Now the Jalen Ramsey thing makes sense because you don't want to pay Jalen Ramsey and Diggs if they're looking at it that way.
Yeah. Anyway, we love y'all to peace, man. This has been a long show. I'm probably gonna get on the Patreon after this and spend a little bit of time with y'all to break down some film. I know some people was talking about Voch. We're gonna get on Twitch later. I think we're gonna do Patreon today, a lot of Patreon today, so that we can be free for Twitch tomorrow. So if you want to watch the film, that's on patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. You want to watch the Twitch, that's twitch.tv/Voch Lombardi. Follow Skywalker Steele at Skywalker Steele. Rumley. Marcus Hardison says, at the volume, that's me and Will Steele, by the way. Marcus Hardison says, at the volume, most men live lives of quiet desperation. So do your best to remain sucker-free in this world full of lollipops. My brothers remain too fly for the clouds and too down for the green grass. Appreciate you, sir. Marcus Hardison, we love you, man. We love you, man. Stay up. You hear me? Voch gotta go, man. Y'all hold down the dose, quotes, and piece of whiskey. Till tomorrow, we're gonna talk about this first overall pick being traded and why Anthony Richardson probably gonna be the first overall pick now. Volume.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?